Live from WYLN Hazleton, this is WYLN's late edition News at 10 with meteorologist Joe Garbacek, sports with Beth Mensinger, Anchors Lisa Sugar, and L.A. Tyrone. News, weather, sports, features, and more. You're watching WYLN's late edition News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WYLN's late edition for Wednesday, October 2nd, 2013. I'm Ann Gownley. Tonight, L.A. Tyrone has details on two bills in Harrisburg that revolve around property taxes. And are you thinking about traveling to space? We'll tell you how you can be a part of it. In sports, Beth Mensinger previews this week's Penn State's Big Ten Conference opener, and Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacek is in the Weather Center with your weekday forecast. But first, late edition's look at tonight's top stories. West Hazleton police arrested 3 people and are looking for a 4th in a shooting back on September 8th. First 2 suspects turned themselves in, Chris Vega and Ralphie Camacho. They were arraigned this morning by District Judge James Dixon. Police Chief Brian Buglio explains what happened.
First, the individuals who were involved in this shooting, they beat one of the victims up. They pistol whipped them, used a gun, beat them up. Stole approximately $400 from them. Then they went inside a house and some type of argument occurred inside the house, and that's when the shooting occurred. And we know at least 10 rounds were fired inside the house.
Then after the first 2 were arraigned, a 3rd suspect turned himself in.
Our 3rd shooting suspect, he turned himself in today. His name was Joel Fernandez. We're still looking for the 4th subject, who his name is Anthony Vega. If anybody knows the whereabouts of him or if they've seen him in the area, we're urging them to contact 911.
As Chief Buglio says, the 4th suspect is still on the run. The 3 who are arraigned are in county prison this evening with preliminary hearings expected next week. Buglio tells us there were 2 victims. Neither was seriously hurt. A few months ago, the West Hazleton Police Department received a generous donation from an area resident, a new car. With it now completely detailed and equipment installed, the department is ready to hit the streets with it. It was back in March when the West Hazleton Police Department received a check for $42,180 from an anonymous resident, along with 4 bulletproof vests. The borough has called them a, quote, guardian angel. The department used that money to purchase a new police cruiser to help them protect the area residents. Just last week, the department was finally able to put it to work.
The marked car was donated by an angel. We call him our guardian angel. He paid the full price for the car. Plus, he donated a bulletproof vest and some guns also.
The borough purchased a brand new 2013 Charger with the donation, bringing the department's vehicle count to 6.
It's fully upfitted. You buy the car and then you have to get it upfitted with the lights, the computer inside, the radio, the different things inside that we needed for a police car. So it is in service and fully functional for the department.
The department also purchased an unmarked vehicle, and it is already in service.
We owe about $15,000 on that unmarked car, and if anybody would like to donate towards it, would be grateful.
With the newest addition to the fleet, Buglio and Schmidt say they are extremely grateful.
We just want to, extend our thank yous to the anonymous donor that did donate the money. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to get 2 police vehicles, and we would only have been able to get 1 because that's what we had budgeted for in our budget this year. So, again, we just want to say thank you to them.
We need it, and it was donated, of course, by an angel, and we're very grateful to him. We can't thank him enough.
The donor still wants to remain anonymous. Staying in West Hazleton, we stopped by its community center this afternoon to check on preparations for their upcoming fundraiser. Our Julie Stefanovich has the details.
Sunday, October 13, 2013 kicks off West Hazleton's annual Chinese auction. The fundraiser is crucial to the community and year-long programs that it supports. Auction goers can bid on turkey trays and 50-50 raffles while enjoying food and baked goods, all for a great cause. Mary Ann Hill is a member of the West Hazleton Recreation Club who took time out of her busy afternoon to speak with us.
Our annual Chinese auction that we have every year, and it benefits all of the programs that we do all year long. We have an Easter egg hunt, a Christmas party, senior luncheon. There's various things that we do, we donate to, we participate in, and this is our major fundraiser, so this is where we get all of our funds to do our things.
For the avid auction attenders, you need not wait until Sunday to purchase your tickets.
Okay, the Chinese auction is Sunday, October 13th, and it starts at 2 o'clock, but the doors open at 11. We have an early bird ticket sales on Saturday from noon to 8. So you can come anytime on Saturday, and you don't have to be present to win. It's going to be located on South 4th and East Cranberry Avenue in West Hazelton at the Community Center.
The public is welcome to attend this important event that benefits the community. In West Hazelton for WYLN's Late Edition, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
A 3-judge Superior Court panel has decided that former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky will not be getting a new trial. Sandusky was convicted of sexually abusing 10 underage boys while employed by Penn State. The decision came down today after oral arguments by Sandusky's lawyer and a state prosecutor. Sandusky argued that his trial lawyers did not have significant time to prepare for trial, and a prosecutor made improper references to him not testifying on his own behalf, and that judge mishandled jury instructions. 69-year-old Sandusky is serving a 30 to 60-year prison sentence in southwestern Pennsylvania. The state attorney general's office says the 45-count conviction should stand. His lawyers plan to ask the state Supreme Court to review the case. More surveillance cameras for the city of Wilkes-Barre to keep the residents safe. The Wilkes-Barre Intermodal Transportation Center now has surveillance cameras for the protection of city residents. Mayor Tom Layton says this installation brings the number of cameras throughout the city to 300. The Intermodal Center on Washington Street was the last parking garage to have the cameras installed. The garage itself has a total of 60 cameras.
All the floors are covered with surveillance cameras. The elevators are covered, along with the stairwells, and the walkways leading to and from Public Square. This is another commitment to my pledge of public safety citywide, and we believe it's very important that while we're trying to rebuild the city and continue to have a vibrant downtown, that we promote the safety of our visitors and residents in the business community that come into our city.
The cameras were funded through $325,000 in gaming money, an additional $325,000 from the FTA. The city did not have to pay a dime.
It's a commitment to public safety citywide that the city has made a pledge, and I've made a pledge to our residents and business community.
Police Chief Gerald DeSoy says the camera system is extremely beneficial to not only the residents but also the police department.
They go into the monitoring room, which is monitored by the camera system is an independent authority. The Hawkeye camera system is monitored by a private security company, and it's supplemented by police officers who are on light duty.
With cameras monitored by officers, they will be able to alert those responding of the situation. Layton says the city is excited to have the cameras put in place and adds there's always a need for more cameras in the city.
If we were able to get more funding, we'd buy more surveillance cameras, which would then allow us to put them in other sections of the city. But we do have mobile cameras that we can move around the city, and when we believe there's a rise in crime in certain neighborhoods, we'll install mobile systems that will allow us to watch what's going on in those neighborhoods.
Layton finished by saying that the city will continue to fight for more funding to keep the city protected. Kingston police have charged a borough man in a string of burglaries. They say 25-year-old Sean Baker stole thousands of dollars worth of merchandise from area homes and cars, everything from phones, laptops, and GPS devices to sports memorabilia, Jewish religious items, and cough medicine. Baker allegedly stored all in the attic apartment he and his girlfriend shared. Police say he likely intended to sell it all on eBay. Anyone who believes they may have had items stolen should call Kingston Police at 570-288-3674. A Wilkes-Barre man is charged with allegedly growing 170 marijuana plants on state game lands in Denison Township. 47-year-old Thomas Dalton is charged with manufacturing a controlled substance and possession with the intent to deliver and related counts. The arrest stems from a long-month investigation with Wildlife Conservation Officer David Allen. It says Allen searched Dalton's vehicle September 6th, finding several things consistent with the cultivation of marijuana, including an electric water pump. Allen later found the plants growing on a game lands field. The governor has a new press secretary. He picked Jay Pagan. He's now worked in state government for 16 years. He's hired media relation posts in the health and public welfare agencies and management positions in the Department of General Services and the Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency. The governor's new communications director, Lynn Lawson, had been serving both roles since late August when she took over for Mr. Corbett's longtime communications aide, Kevin Harley. Another member of Pennsylvania's Congress delegation calling for passage of a clean continuing resolution, one with no references to so-called Obamacare. Jim Gelrich is from suburban Philadelphia. The others who said they'd support the cleaner resolution are Charlie Dent from Allentown and Pat Meehan and Mike Fitzpatrick, both from suburban Philadelphia. Gerlach brings the number of House Republicans supportive of the clean resolution to 13. The Washington Post estimates 17 are needed, along with all House Democrats, to end the government shutdown. A building collapsed in Reading this afternoon. It happened about 3 o'clock in the 500 block of Mineral Spring Road. A man working nearby was buried under the debris but was rescued. His name wasn't released. The fire department says he was repairing a drainage pipe inside of a carport when its back wall split in the middle and collapsed. Officials have guessed the man accidentally hit a weakened spot in the back wall. Best-selling author Tom Clancy has died. Clancy was known for his technological thriller novels, which sold millions. His first big hit was The Hunt for Red October in 1984. That was followed by Red Storm Rising, Patriot Games, The Carnival of Kremlin, Clear and Present Danger, The Sums of All Fears, and Without Remorse. Clancy had said he simply wanted to publish a book, hopefully for a good one, so he would be in the Library of Congress catalog. 4 of his books were made into movies. He's even ventured into video games with the best-selling Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction, and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Double Agent. Tom Clancy was 66. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Time now to check in with Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbaczyk in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center. Joe, another beautiful day here in Hazleton and around our area.
Absolutely, and a gorgeous day to be outdoors throughout the daytime hours of today. The last couple of days, picture perfect weather. Tomorrow is going to be no exception, looking like another nice looking day across our region. In fact, right now, it is picture perfect. Let's go back a little bit in time and talk about the Atlantic hurricane season so far. Through October 2nd, we've had 2 hurricanes. Compared that to the average of 4, so a little bit below average. And tropical storms 10, compare that to the average of 9. Overall, not a big tropical season so far, and the tropical storms that were out there really didn't impact any of the major cities like they have in the past, like we remember Katrina and Hugo and Andrew and so forth. Still got some time for hurricane season, so a lot can still happen. We'll talk locally what you can expect with the 7-day forecast coming up next.
Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. Come see for yourself. They have the freshest selection of meats, cheese, and produce. Baked goods made fresh on premises. They have an in-store butcher who is happy to accommodate your special orders. Be sure to stop in and check out their unadvertised specials. You'll find them throughout the store. See their flyer for weekly specials. Heritage SureSave, your neighborhood full-service supermarket. This week at Heritage, their super hot deal of the week is their boneless and skinless chicken breast, only $1.79 a pound.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
Heritage Hills 13th Annual Alzheimer's Memory Walk is being held Saturday, October 5th at Heritage Hills Senior Community in Weatherly. Registration is at 9 and the 3-mile walk through picturesque Weatherly begins at 10. There will be a tricky tree auction from 9 until noon. For more information, please contact Lisa Marie at 570-427-4500.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN, 1057 East 10th Street, Hazleton, PA, during normal business hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Dry across our region right now, from Wilkes-Barre through Whitehaven, Scranton, Bloomsburg, Berwick, Williamsport, and Lewisburg. all points remaining dry, and this dry weather is going to continue through tonight and as we head into the daytime hours of tomorrow. Our live Lehigh Tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, 64 degrees, pressure coming in at 30 inches even, and you can see the winds, really not too much of a factor. Winds are fairly light at this 10 o'clock hour. Our Robert Stevens Face and Body Almanac page for the day, 75 and 56 is split in temperatures. Compare that to the averages of 66 and 46. You can see we were on the above average side for the day. 91 and 30, the record high and low, they still stand. 702, 644. Sunrise and sunset for the daytime hours of tomorrow. So we warmed up nicely today. We were up into the 70s, some locations getting up into the 80s. Tomorrow is not going to be any different. We're looking at similar temperatures like we saw today. 62 now in New Angola, 62 in Berwick, 63 in Bloomsburg, 64 in Monoy City, and 61 degrees in Danville. Satellite and radar, things looking very nice across the northeast. Notice some increasing cloudiness as you head out toward the Ohio Valley and as you go out toward the south and west. We're going to start to see an increase in those clouds, especially as we go through later tomorrow and tomorrow night. But we're still going to stay dry. Still going to be a very nice looking day as we head into tomorrow. No precipitation to deal with. Watch Skycast precipitation and clouds. As we start going into tomorrow and tomorrow night, the clouds will be on the increase. Then watch what happens as we start going into our Friday. By the afternoon hours, if you notice this, right about the 1 o'clock hour, I showed you this at the 5 o'clock hour, that looks like the potential of some showers, scattered in nature, will develop as we go into our Friday afternoon. And there you can see them. This model run still painting the picture of the chance of a little bit of some rain. There you can see about 4 o'clock. Still looking like the chance of a little bit of some rain, some showers coming through. Hopefully we can get those showers out of here as we go into the high school football games Friday evening. Of course, I'll be fine-tuning that forecast at 5 o'clock on our Friday to see if those showers will be out of our region for those high school football games. One thing is, it's going to stay on the mild side right through Friday. Notice as we go into Thursday night, into our Friday, and by the afternoon hours on Friday, the noontime hour temperatures will be in the 70s. So still some very warm air in place, high pressure offshore. That's going to allow us to give us a nice day for tomorrow. Sunshine, a few clouds around. Take advantage of it while it lasts, because this next weather system starts to come into our area. I think by the second part of the week. Yeah, you know what? There is some snow on there. You may be saying, snow? Oh, yeah. There's some snow out there. Definitely. A couple of inches expected. But for our area, no snow just yet. That's the good news. All right, so we drop down into the 50s as we head through tonight. I think we'll see clear to mostly clear skies as we head into tomorrow. We're up into the 70s, lower 80s. A mix of clouds and sunshine. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric, going into the next couple of days. Some morning fog. Watch out for that in the morning if you happen to be traveling. Could be locally dense in spots, so be careful. And then Friday, some of those scattered showers developing by the afternoon hours. And then pleasant for Saturday. Could be a shower for Sunday. And then the next weather system comes in Sunday night, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. That's going to give us some more rain around, some showers, and it'll bring in some cooler temperatures. Our evening Pennsylvania lottery number is the daily 731, the big 4, 2092. Quinto number 70029, and the cash 5, 511, 14, 26, and 38. Back to you, Ann.
Thanks. Thank you, Joe. Coming up next, L.A. Tyrone has details on two bills in Harrisburg that revolve around property taxes. That and much more coming up on Late Edition only on WYLN.
For all your projects, large and small, Bedrock Gardens has it all. They are fully stocked and ready to fill your order. Rubber mulch and rubber curbing to match. Lots of color choices to pick from. Wall stone, natural stone, full pallets ready to go. Their bins are full with rich colored quality mulch that will look wonderful all season long. Finish off your fabulous outdoor space with their quality patio furniture and easy to assemble fire pits. Everything you need for your summer projects. Delivery available, or just stop by and they will load you up. Bedrock Gardens, locally owned and operated. Call today.
Why should you visit Penn State Hazleton?
Because if you come to our Penn State Day open house,
there's no application fee.
We have fun.
We have the Lion.
We have new scholarship money.
Students are scoring internships
all over the country. Penn State is ranked number 1
by corporate recruiters.
And this is your chance to see campus, talk to students, meet professors, and check out everything Penn State has to offer.
Penn State Hazleton.
Check us out at psu.edu/visit Hazleton.
Managing risk is more than just buying an insurance policy. At Dreyfus, our approach is different. We have 25 risk management professionals who have the tools and experience to help our clients avoid and survive unexpected events. We can help you with risk transfer, OSHA requirements, safe workplace, cybersecurity, and claims management. All of these go well beyond an insurance policy. We're also independent, so we can access dozens of insurance carriers like Grange Insurance, who can insure your auto, home, business, and life. Dreyfus Insurance since 1901 and Grange Insurance since 1935. We're committed to helping you manage risk.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Swing to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy October 18th at the Alice E. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center at the historic castle in Hazleton. 2013 marks the 20th anniversary of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's remarkable arrival onto the music scene. And today, the high-energy 9-piece ensemble continues to remind the world that it's still cool to swing big band style. Join the party. Shake and move to the groove October 18th.
Join us this week on Wellness Through Physical Therapy. Ting will bring 2 of his clients along. Missy and Ted, they're going to tell you about their journey to wellness with a little help from Hazleton Physical Therapy. It's coming up this week. Join us.
Welcome back to Late Edition. The battle of dueling property tax bills in Harrisburg. L.A. Tyrone has the details.
State Representative Neil Goodman, the Mahanoy City Democrat, put out a statement saying he has more complaints about property taxes than any other issue. That's not a surprise. Virtually anyone in the General Assembly who's not from Philadelphia would tell you the same thing. Now, Goodman said that was the reason he voted for an amendment to a bill. Yet that amendment itself already is a bill, one of which the House apparently won't get to vote on. Now, this gets complicated. The main bill in question is both House Bill and Senate Bill 76. It does a number of things. It eliminates property taxes as a funding source for schools. If it passed, you wouldn't have to pay property taxes for schools anymore. You would still have to pay property taxes to your county and municipality. To replace the lost school tax revenue, Bill 76 raises the sales tax from 6 to 7%. It also expands the number of things that are sales taxable, and it raises the personal income tax from 3.07% to 4.34%. It also allows school districts to create an earned income tax, but it has to pass a public vote. Now, while that is House Bill 76, it's apparently not about to get a vote on the floor. So the guy who sponsored the bill, suburban Reading Republican Jim Cox, offered it as an amendment to another bill. Dave Baldinger of the Pennsylvania Coalition of Taxpayers Associations has been the main driver behind House Bill and Senate Bill 76. He joined me today on Topic A, and I asked him why it was voted on as an amendment rather than a freestanding bill.
The reason it was done this way was because the House GOP leadership refused to allow the bill out of committee for a straight up or down floor vote, and the only way that Representative Cox could get us to the floor was to attach the exact language to another bill as what is called a gut and replace amendment. HB 76 is still in the House Finance Committee. SB 76 is still in the Senate Finance Committee, and both are eligible for a vote.
As an amendment, the contents of House Bill 76 lost and lost big, 138 to 59. On your screen right now is how state representatives in the WYLN viewing area voted. Oddly, though she voted for it, Phyllis Mundy trashed it on the House floor, saying it's poorly written and its numbers don't wash. Well, the state's independent fiscal office says they do, or almost do anyway. It says the bill would come up just $3 million short. When you consider school property taxes raised $12.7 billion statewide, being just $3 million short is well within the margin of error, or as Baldinger puts it, a rounding error. The contents of HB and SB 76 are controversial. Virtually every taxpayer group in the state supports it. The teachers' unions strongly oppose it.
I think their motivation is that they feel because there are cost controls built into HB 76 and SB 76, it's going to limit their ability to negotiate higher wages and benefits in contracts. I mean, I've seen a lot of teacher contracts where the teachers have managed to get 3 and 4% annual increases, and I'm not bashing the teachers. Please, I'm not bashing teachers in this. This is the union. With the cost controls built into HB 76, the schools are only going to get annual increases based on available revenue or the increase in inflation.
As for the bill to which it was offered as an amendment, it's House Bill 1189, the Optional Property Tax Elimination Act. It's written by York Republican Seth Grove. Baldinger doesn't think much of it.
My top-level read on this is that this was something that was shoved through the House of Representatives so they could say they did something about property tax relief, and I put that in quotes, and at the same time try to kill House Bill 76. It is a joke from start to finish and does absolutely nothing.
It allows school districts to eliminate property taxes if they so choose, or simply to reduce them. To replace that revenue, districts can create an earned income tax, a net profits tax, or a mercantile tax, such as the one Hazleton has. The problem there is they've been ruled unconstitutional, at least for cities to collect them. There's never been a proposal for a state one. Hazleton's was ruled unconstitutional almost 20 years ago, but the Supreme Court allowed Hazleton and a few other cities who've been charging them to keep them. In any case, Grove's bill, that's OPTI, passed 149 to 46 and now heads to the Senate. But in the Senate, Bill 76 is still very much alive and has 24 co-sponsors, just 2 short of passage if there were a floor vote. What happens next? Well, we're talking about Harrisburg. Almost anything can. L.A. Tyrone, WILN's late edition. This late edition.
Thank you, L.A. Coming up next, Beth Mensinger has details on Penn State's big weekend. That and much more coming up on Late Edition.
Everyone knows Dan here at Heritage Hill. He's been devoted to our family of residents for over a decade. Experienced, nurturing, exceptional. It's what our care team is all about. Our residents enjoy personal care, homemade meals, day trips, clubs, and social activities. Shepherd's Garden, our memory care neighborhood, ensures a compassionate and secure environment. Come meet us. We're honored to share our hearts, our home, our heritage of caring. Heritage Hill Senior Community in Weatherly. Call today for your free personal tour.
Hi everybody, this is Richie Molinaro, Marketing Director for Fairway Chevrolet in Hazleton. Since Berwick Chevrolet is no longer an authorized Chevrolet dealer, I'd like to personally invite you to join our Fairway family. We'll provide you with the utmost courtesy from Chevrolet sales, service, and parts to our state-of-the-art body shop and auto spot. We have over 300 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock. We're the #1 commercial truck and business elite dealer in Pennsylvania, and we would be honored to be your Chevrolet dealer.
Are you tired of being overweight? Do you have food cravings? Do you get tired during the day? Do you have problems sleeping at night? Do you exercise but can't lose the weight? Have you tried every new diet? Fat-burning hormones working for you or against you? If you're ready for some answers, call 218-0002 and register for a free weight loss seminar from Rodman Natural Health Solutions. You can learn how to finally lose your weight and keep it off. Seating is extremely limited, so call 218-0002 now or go to drrodman.clubreduce.com.
Off the Beaten Path is a half-hour program that showcases interesting and unique people, places, and things in Pennsylvania. Hosted by Jeff Bonomo, Brian Bromley, and Ken Cara, Off the Beaten Path is fast-paced, lighthearted, and sometimes even downright funny. Each show, we travel to many destinations in Pennsylvania, including restaurants, events, unique landmarks, and we talk with interesting people. So come with us off the Beaten Path.
After their first of 2 bye weeks last Saturday, the Penn State Nittany Lions are looking to begin Big Ten Conference play Saturday at Indiana University. Bill O'Brien spoke during a press conference yesterday about this week's challenge against the 2-2 Hoosiers. First up, the coach talked about how the Nittany Lions secondary will slow down an up-tempo offense that has been running 90 to 100 plays a game behind quarterback Kevin Wilson. First is communicating properly on the field. Second, tackling in space, and third, not giving up a ton of explosive plays. Junior linebacker Mike Hall will also be back in the lineup against Indiana after suffering an injury in Week 1 against Syracuse, so that's big for the secondary. O'Brien was then asked about having 2 bye weeks this year on Penn State's schedule. He said this past week's break was important to focus more on the team's tendencies while giving more attention to players on a one-on-one basis. So how productive was the bye week? O'Brien said, quote, "The proof is in the pudding on Saturday." Kickoff at Memorial Stadium in Bloomington between the Lions and the Hoosiers is set for noon. And sticking on the subject of Penn State, kind of, former quarterback and Scranton native Matt McGloin is moving up in the NFL world. The Oakland Raiders head coach Dennis Allen spoke to Vic Taffer of the San Francisco Chronicle today and said McGloin has now taken over the backup quarterback spot on the roster, moving former backup Matt Flynn to the 3rd string. Allen said he really likes the rookie and described McGloin as having some moxie to him. Starter Terrell Pryor, an Ohio State product, was out due to a concussion in Week 3. Flynn took his spot, and from how Allen saw it, he didn't do a great job, completing 21 of 32 passes for 227 yards, 1 touchdown, and also an interception. McGloin made this year's Raiders roster after signing as an undrafted free agent. He played in 4 preseason games, completing 20 out of 35 passing attempts for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Pryor worked out in full pads this week for the Raiders and has the go-ahead for the start. But make sure you keep an eye out for McGloin to make an appearance as the Raiders host the San Diego Chargers on Sunday. Very exciting stuff for a local boy who's worked pretty hard. Another local product, Ann Gownley, is coming right back with your top story recaps.
This is a home. This is your neighbor's home. This is another home furnished by Grand Central. All these rooms in all these homes makes everybody so happy. It's so easy to do. It's your room made your way. It's local. It's Grand Central. This week at Grand Central, the price on the floor is the price to your door and not 1 cent more. No tax, no delivery, no kidding. It's now. Floor to door prices. Everybody shops Grand Central, making your house a home.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. You'll meet Marinda, a busy, professional working mom who is feeling a lot better due to good chiropractic care. Her story this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. Join us.
Recapping tonight's top stories, West Hazleton police arrested 3 people and are looking for a 4th in a shooting back on September 8th. The first 2 suspects turned themselves in, Chris Vega and Ralphie Camicho. They were arraigned this morning by District Magistrate James Dixon. Police Chief Brian Buglio explains what happened.
First, the individuals who were involved in this shooting, they beat one of the victims up. They pistol whipped him, used a gun, beat him up. Stole approximately $400 from him. Then they went inside a house and some type of argument occurred inside the house, and that's when the shooting occurred. And we know at least 10 rounds were fired inside the house.
Then after the first 2 were arraigned, a 3rd suspect turned himself in.
Our 3rd shooting suspect, he turned himself in today. His name was Joel Fernandez. We're still looking for the 4th subject, who his name is Anthony Vega. If anybody knows the whereabouts of him or if they've seen him in the area, we're urging them to contact 911.
As for the 4th suspect, he is still on the run. The 3 who were arraigned are in county prison this evening, with preliminary hearings expected next week. Buglio tells us there were 2 victims. Neither was seriously injured. A few months ago, the West Hazleton Police Department received a generous donation from an area resident, a new car. With it now completely detailed and equipment installed, the department is ready to hit the streets with it. It was back in March when the West Hazleton Police Department received a check for $42,180 from an anonymous resident, along with 4 bulletproof vests. The borough has called them a, quote, guardian angel. The department used that money to purchase a new police cruiser to help them protect the area residents. Just last week, the department was finally able to put it to work.
The marked car was donated by an angel. We call him our guardian angel. He paid the full price for the car. Plus, he donated a bulletproof vest and some guns also.
The borough purchased a brand new 2013 Charger with the donation, bringing the department's vehicle count to 6.
It's fully upfitted. You buy the car and then you have to get it upfitted with the lights, the computer inside, the radio, the different things inside that we needed for a police car. So it is in service and fully functional for the department.
The department also purchased an unmarked vehicle, and it is already in service.
We owe about $15,000 on that unmarked car, and if anybody would like to donate towards it, would be grateful.
With the newest addition to the fleet, Buglio and Schmidt say they are extremely grateful.
We just want to, extend our thank yous to the anonymous donor that did donate the money. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to get 2 police vehicles, and we would only been able to get 1, because that's what we had budgeted for in our budget this year. So, again, we just want to say thank you to them.
We need it, and it was donated, of course, by an angel, and we're very grateful to him. We can't thank him enough.
The donor still wants to remain anonymous. A 3-judge Superior Court panel has decided that former Penn State assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky will not be getting a new trial. Sandusky was convicted of sexually abusing 10 underage boys while employed at Penn State. The decision came down today after oral arguments between Sandusky's lawyer and state prosecutors. Sandusky argued that his trial lawyers did not have significant time to prepare for trial, and a prosecutor made improper references to him not testifying on his own behalf, and that the judge mishandled jury instructions. 69-year-old Sandusky is serving a 30 to 60-year prison sentence in southwestern Pennsylvania. The state attorney general's office says the 45-count conviction should stand. His lawyer plans to ask the state Supreme Court to review the case. More surveillance cameras for the city of Wilkes-Barre to help keep the residents safe. The Wilkes-Barre Intermodal Transportation Center now has surveillance cameras for the protection of city residents. Mayor Tom Layton says this installation brings the number of cameras throughout the city to 300. The Intermodal Center on Washington Street was the last parking garage to have the cameras installed. The garage itself has a total of 60 cameras.
All the floors are covered with surveillance cameras. The elevators are covered, along with the stairwells and the walkways leading to and from Public Square. This is another commitment to my pledge of public safety citywide, and we believe it's very important that while we're trying to rebuild the city and continue to have a vibrant downtown, that we promote the safety of our visitors and residents in the business community that come into our city.
The cameras were funded through $325,000 in gaming money, an additional $325,000 from the FTA. The city did not have to pay a dime.
It's a commitment to public safety citywide that the city has made a pledge, and I've made a pledge to our residents and business community.
Police Chief Gerald DeSoy says the camera system is extremely beneficial to not only the residents but also the police department.
They go into the monitoring room, which is monitored by the camera system is an independent authority. The Hawkeye camera system is monitored by a private security company, and it's supplemented by police officers who are on light duty.
With cameras monitored by officers, they will be able to alert those responding of the situation. Layton says the city is excited to have the cameras put in place and adds there's always a need for more cameras in the city.
If we were able to get more funding, we'd buy more surveillance cameras, which would then allow us to put them in other sections of the city. But we do have mobile cameras that we can move around the city, and when we believe there's a rise in crime in certain neighborhoods, we will install mobile systems that will allow us to watch what's going on in those neighborhoods.
Layton finished by saying that the city will continue to fight for more funding to keep the city protected. Kingston police have charged a borough man in a string of burglaries. They say 25-year-old Sean Baker stole thousands of dollars worth of merchandise from area homes and cars, everything from phones, laptops, and GPS devices to sports memorabilia, Jewish religious items, and cough medicine. Baker allegedly stored it all in the attic apartment he and his girlfriend shared. Police say he likely intended to sell it all on eBay. Anyone who believes they may have had items stolen should call the Kingston Police at 570-288-3674. A Wilkes-Barre man is charged with allegedly growing 170 marijuana plants on state game lands in Denison Township. 47-year-old Thomas Dalton is charged with manufacturing a controlled substance and possession with the intent to deliver and related counts. The arrest stems from a month-long investigation by Wildlife Conservation Officer David Allen. It says Allen searched Dalton's vehicle September 6th, finding several things consistent with the cultivation of marijuana, including an electric water pump. Allen later found the plants growing on a game lands field. And that is a look at tonight's top stories. Coming up next, details on how you can take a trip outer space. But first, let's check back in with meteorologist Joe Garbacik in the Bedrock Gardens Weather Center with the latest. Joe?
Outer space, huh? Would that be going to Mars and never coming back again? Not this one. From what I got to hear about this one. This could be very interesting. Well, what is interesting across our area is the leaves. They continue to change color, the fall foliage. Here's a look at the graphic. Throughout the rest of this week, there's going to be some color changes across our area, but it won't be until the next week or two after this that we're going to really start to see the peak season, so to speak, with a lot of those leaves changing some beautiful colors. I'll let you know what we can expect with the 7-day forecast. Is it going to feel fall-like the next couple of days or more spring and summer-like? You'll have to stick around. I'll give you the answer a little bit later on.
The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated at 542 North Wyoming Street in Hazelton, serving the greater Hazelton area since 1890 and still family owned and operated, offers convenient parking, handicapped accessibility, seating for over 150 people, casket, cremation product showrooms to accommodate traditional, cremation, and pre-planned funerals. The Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home Incorporated, 570-454-3341.
As a diabetic, where do I turn for the special healthcare products and advice I need?
Come into your nearby Good Neighbor Pharmacy. We specialize in the unique concerns and needs you have as a diabetic patient. Your Good Neighbor pharmacist has a fully trained staff, stocks a broad selection of the products you need, and takes a personal interest in your health and well-being.
Tri-County Business Machines has been serving the Hazelton area with office supplies and furniture for over 35 years. We are your local Kyocera dealer for all your digital Kyocera copiers, printers, and faxes. For exceptional reliability, sales, and service, the call to make is to Tri-County Business Machines. Tri-County Business Machines, keeping your office up to speed. Tri-County Business Machines, located at 117 East Broad Street, Hazelton. Phone 459-0754 or visit us on the web at tricountybm.com.
WYLN, your first choice for locally produced shows like Chef Lou, Jen-tastic Sweets, Off the Beaten Path, The Storm, and more. Find out how you can stretch your advertising dollars and be a part of the WYLN TV lineup. Call 570-459-1869, extension 1302. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back. He formed Virgin Airlines. Now Richard Branson has a grand idea regarding space travel, and many are lining up to shell out lots and lots of money to be a part of it. INN's Poppy Harlow has the details.
Who would spend up to $250,000 just for minutes in space?
Seeing a spaceship here is just absolutely mind-blowing.
It's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
These people, more than 600 have signed on.
How much to charter one of these puppies?
1.2 mil.
Wow. And I hear you're going to leave 2 seats empty? So it's just
No,
the
it's not
family?
empty. There's 2 angels coming with us.
Passengers won't just check in and hop on board. The whole experience will mean 3 days of training and health checks, then a few hours in the air, and 3 minutes weightless in space. The mothership will carry Spaceship 2 up, then release it to glide back. Unlike NASA's rockets, it won't orbit the Earth. It's Sir Richard Branson who's determined to take them there. Is this the new space race?
I think it's the start of a new space race. It's not been easy. It's taken us 5 years more than we thought it would take, but finally they pulled it off.
That is, if the FAA gives Galactic the green light. Virgin says commercial launch is just months away.
You're broaching out into a new field in the sky, and we're going to have some mishaps that happen now. Hopefully they won't be catastrophic.
Do you ever fear that maybe you're putting too much at risk with this?
And people risked a lot to get space off the ground in the first place, but unless you risk something, the world stays still.
Branson is such a believer he plans to take the first flight with his own children. David Mackay will be at the controls.
We don't want to push too hard, too quickly. It'd be nice to be first to do it, but the most important thing is to do it right. Whoever is first has to do it right.
What is your ultimate dream for this?
We'll start with giving people a taste of space. Then we'll send people into orbital flights. We'll start building hotels in space. And
really? In our lifetime?
In your lifetime, definitely. Hopefully in my lifetime.
CNN's Poppy Harlow. Definitely won't be doing that. Coming up next, Beth Mensinger is in with the second half of sports. That and much more coming up on Lead Edition. All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
Your family's good health begins with a great team. That team is the Alliance Medical Group. We're the first healthcare provider in the greater Hazleton area to offer a fully integrated approach to family and specialized medical care. Our expanding network of more than 30 physicians and specialists are trusted by thousands for routine and complex medical treatments. For a convenient appointment at any of our 15 regional offices, simply call 501-4AMG. Alliance Medical Group. Your health, that's our specialty.
What do you see? Perhaps you're noticing the rusted fender or the dented side panel. Maybe the first thing your eye goes to is the worn interior. But look closer and you'll see something else. Value. At Harry's You Pull It, we see value in your old car and so will others. It's the reason we offer top dollar for your car. Junker, clunker, piece of tin, your car may have many names, but at Harry's, there's only one that matters. Value. Visit one of our 3 locations today in Hazleton, Pennsburg, and Allentown.
Enjoy the great outdoors at the Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range's Trap, Skeet, and Sporting Clays course. No waiting and no lines. First time shooting? Whitetail Preserve employs certified instructors to help you get the most out of your experience. Hungry? The restaurant at Whitetail has a great menu to satisfy and offers catering for all occasions. Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, approximately 13 miles west of Hazleton and just 1 hour from Allentown, Reading, and the Delaware Water Gap. 118 Boulevard Road, just off the Rockland Road, near Rockland. 384-2314.
Some people call it health care reform, others call it Obamacare. On this week's show, I'm joined by Dr. Frank Polidoro of Drums, who will educate us on the history of this legislation, its pros, its cons, and why you should be very concerned about government intervention and control of your health. This week on Storm Politics, only on WYLN.
Into the postseason, the Braves have left second baseman Dan Uggla off their NLDS roster, and they did the same with pitchers Paul Mahom and Scott Downs. Ugla hit 179 this season. He did have eye surgery and hit just 133 since coming back. Mahom was 10-11 with a 4.41 ERA. Downs has been one of the best left-handed relievers in baseball for almost a decade, but had a down year, registering a 3.86 ERA this season. Last night we told you the Texas Rangers were bringing back manager Ron Washington, but earlier today they said they are not renewing the contracts of first base coach Dave Anderson and bench coach Jackie Moore. Pitching coach Mike Maddox, hitting coach Dave Magadan, third base coach Gary Pettis, and bullpen coach Andy Hawkins are all expected to return. Anderson and the 74-year-old Moore, who has been in professional baseball for more than half a century, had both served on Washington's staff the past 5 seasons. There is a big rule change in the NHL. Hybrid icing is in effect this season, having been approved by the players. Under it, players will no longer have to touch the puck to get an icing call. Instead, icing is now erased to an imaginary line across the face-off dots. It was given a trial run during the preseason and was used last year in the AHL. It got mixed reviews in the minors. The goal is to prevent serious injury. Some players expressed doubts about it, most notably hesitancy or unfamiliarity on the part of the linesman who has to make the call. And there may be bigger changes coming. Hall of Famer Tampa Bay Lightning general manager Steve Yzerman believes it's time for the NHL to call a game misconduct on any player fighting. Hurricanes GM Jim Rutherford and Penguins GM Ray Shero said they agree. Fighting has long been a subject of the debate, with some wanting to ban it, others saying it's always been a part of a game. Last attempt to deal with it was an ill-fated effort in 2009. The NHL tried to impose a 10-minute misconduct for players who dropped their gloves immediately after a face-off, but the NHLPA voted it down. The New York Jets have signed receiver David Nelson, who played with Buffalo from 2010 to 2012, where he caught 94 passes for 1,042 yards and 8 TDs. He signed with Cleveland in the offseason, but was among the Browns' final cuts. Nelson's best season came in 2011 when he had 61 receptions for 658 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Baltimore Ravens obtained left tackle Eugene Monroe from the Jacksonville Jaguars for a pair of draft picks today. The Ravens allowed 12 sacks, and their running backs averaged just 64 yards rushing in the first 4 games. Coach John Harbaugh said he expects the 6'5", 305-pounder to challenge Bryant McKinney for the starting job at left tackle. And the Patriots will likely be without defensive tackle Vince Wilfork for the rest of the season. He tore his right Achilles tendon in Sunday's 30-23 win over the Atlanta Falcons. Wilfork is a 5-time Pro Bowl selection. They won on Monday night. Let's see how Joe Madden's Rays did tonight to stay in the postseason as they faced off with the Tribe at Progressive Field. Former Philly now Ray Delman Young at the DH spot for Tampa Bay. He goes yard on a first pitch. Desmond Jennings has 2 RBIs, and the Rays lead 3-0. The winner will play the Red Sox Friday afternoon. In the NHL, Flyers on the ice tonight against the Maple Leafs. The Flyers' Braden Shen scores in the first few seconds of the first game of the season, but that was about it. Toronto wins 3-1. The Avalanche lead Anaheim 1-0 in the second, and Buffalo fell to Detroit 2-1. And we do have a quick note. The big rivalry football games between the Air Force and Navy, and also Army and Boston College, will be played on Saturday after receiving official approval by the Secretary of Defense today. They were originally put on hold when the government shut down yesterday. We are not shutting down, though. Joe's coming back right after the break.
Buy it at Barber Ford. It's a cut above the rest. Buy it at Barber Ford. Honest people where the deals are the best. Now is the time. Barber Ford is the place. The best cause I hear there's no mistake. You can't buy better. You can't buy better than Barber Ford.
Barber Ford, Route 309 in Hazleton and on Route 11 in Exeter. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Swing to Big Bad Voodoo Daddy October 18th at the Alice C. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center at the historic castle in Hazleton. 2013 marks the 20th anniversary of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy's remarkable arrival onto the music scene. And today, the high-energy 9-piece ensemble continues to remind the world that it's still cool to swing big band style. Join the party. Shake and move to the groove October 18th. WILN TV 35, first in live sports.
Hi, I'm Ron Jaworski. For the best in local TV sports, watch WILN TV 35.
WILN TV 35 has it covered.
Hi, my name is Vince Papelli. I'm a former Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver and special teams guy, and for local sports coverage, I watch only WILN 35.
WILN TV 35, the event, not just the highlights.
We are all, I think, getting to like this weather. It's feeling more spring and summer-like versus where we're at in the season of fall, the month of October, and we know a lot can happen. In fact, I almost hate to say the word, but it's true. Yes, we could get snow in October, especially here in the higher elevations, but you know what? It's going to be much too warm for any kind of snow anytime soon because we're going to be dealing with temperatures in the 70s for daytime highs over the next couple of days, so hopefully you get a chance to enjoy this warm weather while it lasts. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. It is dry from Wilkes-Barre through Hazleton, out through Williamsport State College, and out through Pittsburgh. You won't find a drop in the sky whatsoever. It is just gorgeous to be outdoors. Live Lehigh Tire conditions. Outside our station in Hazleton, we're at 64 degrees. Pressure still on a relatively high side, 30.01 inches of mercury. Again, dry today. And the winds now fairly light, and those winds really won't be too much of a factor across our region. Well, take a look at these temperatures across much of the nation. These are some nice temperatures for this time of year. We're talking about 60s. We have some 70s out there, but look at Great Falls. Temperatures only in the 40s. Boise coming in with the lower 50s, and a little bit cooler than over the last couple of weeks when I talked to you about Las Vegas and Phoenix. They were dealing with 90s and 100s. Tonight, right now, they're dealing with temperatures in the 80s. Closer to home, 63, Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport. 62 degrees in Mount Pocono, 68 degrees in Allentown, 72 in Philadelphia, 64 in Williamsport, 61 in Selinsgrove, and 65 degrees in State College. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, from Nanticoke through Wilkes-Barre, Kingston, and Lehman. Your temperatures in your area. Watching us on Service Electric Wilkes-Barre, up into the 80s today. Nighttime lows a little bit chilly, 40s, lower 50s, and right now your temperatures stand in the lower 60s. Satellite and radar across our area, things looking very nice. A few of those high, thin clouds and increasing clouds as you head out toward the western and southwestern part of the state. But really, these guys you see out here really won't impact our weather through tonight. We're going to stay on clear to mostly clear skies. But then, as we start going into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, these clouds will be on the increase. And then watch what happens as we go into our Saturday, or I should say into our Friday. A chance of some showers overspreading our area. There we go, about the noontime hour on Friday. Some showers overspreading our region, even some of them lasting into the afternoon hours. 4 o'clock, chance of still a few more showers across the northeast. And then they'll start to get out of here. Hopefully at this point they'll be out of there for the high school football games, but stay tuned. I'll be updating the forecast as we progress through the next 2 days. One thing for certain, the warmth stays with us. We're up into the 70s, even in the higher elevations the next couple of days. It won't be until the second part of the weekend and early next week that we start to see a cool down in our forecast. High temperatures only in the 60s. Extended forecast brought to you by the Wire Guys, a division of Arc Electric. So as we go into the next several days, temperature-wise, it's looking very nice, above where we should be for this time of year. Now watch out for tomorrow morning. Could be some patchy, dense fog out there, and that'll burn off, and we'll have lots of sunshine after that, 70s, and then a couple of scattered showers for Friday. Saturday looks great at this point, 73 degrees. And then later Sunday night, and then as you go into Monday, Tuesday of next week, another chance of some more rain, only in the 60s for daytime highs.
So the rain's coming a little earlier than we thought it was.
Yeah, but of course tomorrow that can change at 5, so we'll update you then.
Well, what are you going to do? It's October, right?
It's better than snow, and that's going to be around the corner. You know, we've already had snow in October, as you know.
Well, yeah, like 2 years ago.
In fact,
on Halloween.
The Halloween, and I'm sure if you act the infamous Googling L.A., he will.
The Farmer's Almanac.
1977.
There it
Elliot
is.
Theron. There you go.
What about
you
the
say the
Farmer's
Farmer's Almanac?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to, we'll leave this for after the show.
Bring it home. You're lucky Ann Gownley's sitting in the middle.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in the middle.
You're lucky I'm a gentleman.